Vivek sir, if you could give a short brief on what you meant about getting more profits from investments than trading.
Sure. Keep one thing in mind, 99.99% of people who come and trade in the market are coming and trading in the market who are untrained. They don't have not taken a proper training of how to trade at all. So you tend to be giving in money to people who are trained, and 99.99% people normally lose money when they start trading on the market and not investing. But if you invest with basic knowledge also, you would tend to get a return, though slower, but more assured. Like for example, if you look at Protect or you look at any stock of your choice, if I was to invest in this stock of Protech, I would invest a stock once it breaks my mid Bollinger Band on a weekly time frame or on a daily. One thing, Kamal, on this daily time frame, it has broken up from the lower Bollinger Band to the upper Bollinger Band around the 22nd or 23rd of December. This candle on 22nd December. The mid Bollinger Band is a 20-day EMA. Now, remember the date 22nd December and remember the rate 1.53. Now, can you take it to weekly? Or can you take a script which is of a bigger value, which gives you a larger generation of fluctuations?
Shall I take
Any large caps, any
Apple?
large cap, even Air Canada is fine, Apple is fine, anything. Apple is also fine. All right. Now, this is the daily chart. Right, guys? Can you go further to your left, Kamal? But that's it. That's it. Now, in August 2020, in August 2020, 1st of August, the gap up opening, one candle prior, that's it. That was 30th July. I am just entering into my 20-day EMA. Now, assumingly, if I entered the next day, it was a gap up opening. It opened at 102.88. The low was 100. Close was $106. Now, I say I'm absolute Dumbo. I buy at 106, 106.30. I have bought at 106.30 on the 31st of July. I continue trading as an investment till it touches and crosses my mid Bollinger Band. So I did not sell here. I did not sell there when it touched the high of 137. I did not sell this day also when it touched the low of 120. I sold the next day once it crossed the mid Bollinger Band. Now, what is the low of that day? 110. What is the close of that day? 121. My buying price was 106. My selling price is 121. So what is the date? That is 4th September. So entire month of August, I held this stock. What is the money that I made?
$15.
$15 on an investment of $100, $110, $105. So I made a 15% return in 1 month. Now that is investment. Now, if I look at it carefully, I don't sell even now. I will hold it till January. What is the current rate?
Current is around one.
Closing. Current closing is 131.
Yeah.
Right? 132. What did I bought at? 106. How many months? August, September, October, November, December, Jan. 6 months. I'm still making $25 on a $100 investment, which is a 25% return.
And without doing anything.
Without doing anything. And in between, the company gave me 2 dividends, which I very happily enjoyed myself in.
And third is about to come.
And the third is about to come, yes. And today you're talking about thinking of buying Apple at about 125, 126, whereas I have entered the Apple at 106. That is investments.
And we are
So
talking about position of only one quantity.
only one share, of course, only one share. I'm just giving you example of one share to one share. Depending upon how much you have saved, what you have saved or what you have invested in multiple quantities, that will go up. So rather take a swing trade, which is the reason why you enter it when the indicators are favoring to you to enter at the lowest point possible. So which is why I'm looking at Williams R, CCI, RSI, and I look at price and volume action. Now I could do this analysis of mid Bollinger Band for anybody, any script, and it will always work in the same favor. Vineet, Prem doesn't answer your question. I think Vineet or Prem would answer it. I don't know.
No, Mr. Bhatia, it wasn't my question, but
It
though,
was
like
it was
it's really
Prem.
very helpful to hear from you.
Oh, most welcome. I think it was a Prem. I don't know who it was. Somebody had asked anyway. जिससे भी पूछा था, hopefully it is well answered.
Yes.
So I always like to do a trade with investments, and then you work it that way.
So how about
yeah? Tell me.
So how about suggesting this way, like distributing your total investment into some portion for medium to long term investments and some for trading, for swing trading?
Look, I'm an aggressive trader also. I'll be openly talking about that. But in my trading skills, I have always normally lost. But as an investing skills, I have always gained. If you look at your current Canadian markets, currently I'm investing only on Canadian markets, and my investment portfolio is about $25,000. I am already running into a profit. I'm running into a profit of approximately about 6,000 Canadian dollars over a period from August to January. And my current portfolio is showing a loss of $2,000 because somewhere I'm making profit, somewhere I'm making a loss. But my loss predominantly is because I had invested a large amount in Barrick, and that is what has really taken a dip and taken a hit to me. My portfolio also is very heavily lopsided towards biased towards Barrick. Of the $25,000, I am about 9,000 in Barrick. Don't show me that dirty script again. So I'm waiting for it to clear off. Minute it clears off from out of my portfolio will be very healthy. And mind you, my portfolio of minus 2,000 is not taking into account my profits accrued. My profits accrued have been taken out and out of this portfolio. So this is of the current portfolio that I'm holding.
Hi, sir. This is Ankita. I'm pretty much new to this group. Thanks to Vivek Nalave, who referred me here. I've been thinking about investments like for a year, and I've tried my hand at stock trading. And as Vivek sir said, I failed miserably in India at least. So my question to you, maybe this has been answered in some of your videos, but I just want to take this chance and ask, how do one go about selecting a good stock? What do you look at, and how do you select? Basically, there are thousands and thousands of stock out there. So very how true. Do you go?
All right. Now, I normally have some parameters of my own. My first parameter is my price should be above $5 or $10. I don't enter penny stocks at all. I mean, I know there are many people in this group, including Kamal, who does this strategy of penny stock strategy also. I don't trade penny at all because penny is a long haul system for me. Though Kamal's strategy of penny is also very good. So I like to play on the price, which is I keep it above $5. Next,
Right.
I keep volume. I want my stock to be liquid. So I keep my volume as 500 or 750 minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Third, now Kamal has done his weekly performances and yearly performances. I don't do that. I try to keep Williams R, RSI, CCI, Bollinger lower. Now Bollinger upper will give me the immediate target which will give me.
Okay.
Right? Bollinger upper gives me the immediate target. If I keep Bollinger lower, it gives me the entry point.
Okay.
Right? Kamal, why don't you do one thing? Forget all this. Just give me the sharing rights. I'll share my screen right away. I think मेरा वो खुला हुआ होगा tab.
Sure.
My screener is already open. Yes. No. My screener is not open. All right.
Or shall I continue on mine?
No, you continue on your screen. Chalo. You continue on your screen only.
Okay.
Continue on your screen. So where were we?
No, Bollinger low.
So Bollinger Band. So I will use Bollinger Band. I will use RSI. I will use Williams R, and I will use CCI. Now, why am I doing Williams R, RSI, and CCI? Because CCI and Williams R are forward indicators. They will inform you ahead of what is going to happen. Normally, RSI, MACD, these are all lagging indicators. Williams R and CCI are forward indicators. They will inform you ahead of what's going to happen. Now, my Williams R is that I cannot sell since short selling is not being permitted in the investment stream. When you're doing investments, you can't short sell.
Right.
Right? So you can only buy and you will sell. So I am looking for buying opportunities. I'm looking at Williams R less than minus 80 because Williams R range is from 0 to minus 100.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Williams R less than minus 80. Similarly, I'm looking at CCI, which is from plus 200 to minus 200. So I'm looking anything which is less than minus 100.
Okay.
All right. I'm looking at RSI around or less than 35, less than 35, less than 40. Because these are at this rate, at these rates, your stocks are oversold.
Okay.
Right? So now when they are oversold, you will have tendencies of people to start picking them up and buying them up.
Right.
When you are buying it now, you will realize your last value is either below your Bollinger Band low or just about to touch it.
Okay.
Right? So just about to touch it. That gives me an indication that now there is strength going to be coming in. Now in CNR, I am already in wait to enter CNR. I'm already tracking this very strongly. CNR, the current value is 129.52. Bollinger Band is saying 129.97. Now the rule of Bollinger Band is if the stock is outside the Bollinger Band, that means if it goes below the Bollinger Band, the price will be moved into the Bollinger Band.
Okay.
Right? Now you look at CNR, which he's opened up. Now this is your National Railway. 3 consecutive days, the price is moving out of the Bollinger Band and somehow they are being pushed up.
Right.
Right? Now look where Williams R is. Minus 98. CCI at minus 172. All right. Now, if you look at the chart, you will realize on your left side of the chart in August, in August first week, the red candle which you see on top,
Yeah.
that is the price. The low of that candle was 129.25. So 129 and around is the price from where it is bouncing back. Did
Right.
CNR right from August to today ever touch 129? It did not,
No.
right?
Okay.
So that indicates to you that now is the time to buy this price.
Mhm.
Now, if I buy it at 129 or if I buy it at 127.50, I could buy it at 129.52 and with a stop loss of 127.50, because 127.50 and above it is reversing.
Correct.
I can
Okay.
buy it from here. So with a $2 stop loss,
Mm-hmm.
our target is $147. I'm looking at about $17 profit,
Okay.
$17 or $20 profit.
Okay.
And this would be an investment trade. Don't expect this trade to happen. If I enter the trade, I will not exit for the next few days, possibly even a few weeks.
Okay.
But when I exit, it gives me a $20 profit on an investment of 130.
Correct.
Right? So on an investment of 130, I get 20. So 20 by 3 is 1 by 6.5. That gives you the ratio which of the percentage of profit you have taken.
Mm-hmm.
Now the same trade, same script. The price in July, around first week of July, crossed in from lower Bollinger Band. It crossed the mid Bollinger Band and it moved up. Kamal, can you take it slightly to your left? Right? Now, the green candle on 25th of June.
30th of June?
25th of June. 25th of June. This one. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Now, can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
What happens? Ankita, you realize what happens? Now look at the RSI and look at the Williams-R.
Okay.
It's
It
Right?
Williams-R and
98 minus 150. I buy. Now
Yeah.
I buy on the green candle, highest point of green candle. Highest point is 118.90. So let's say I'm being magnanimous, I buy at $120.
Uh-huh.
Right? I'm a dumb trader, I buy at 120, not even 118.90. I buy at 120. Now if I bought at 120, where is the first point I'm going to talk of selling it? When it crosses the mid Bollinger Band.
Right. 129.
Right? Now 137.
Okay.
And that was on 1st September. When I entered, what was my entry date? 25th of June.
25th June.
Entire July, entire August, and some days of September.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2.5, 3 months, I made a profit of about $17 for doing what? For just sitting tight with my money.
Correct.
Now, again, there, if I want, I sell off. But I don't want to sell off because it is coming down. I continue holding it because it is still very far from my purchase price. It goes all the way to 148.
Mm-hmm.
Now at 148, when it touched in 16th of October, please check out your RSI and CCI. Your RSI one candle prior was at minus 1.85, which is almost zero.
Uh-huh.
At that point of time, I have to sell come what may. If I don't sell, is my mistake.
Okay.
Because now I know things will start correcting. CCI also is at plus 150.
Plus,
I
yeah.
know it's about to correct. So if I sell there, if I sell at 148 or 147, whatever the price was, 147, because the closing is at 146, 147. So I sold at 147. My buy was at 120. Buy at 120, sold at 147. At $27. profit. Now when I sold over there, I can again buy back when it touches the lower Bollinger Band, and I look at it curving upwards. When Williams R and CCI are curving up, I will buy it.
Okay.
Again, I'm buying it at 131, 132, and currently at 40. So on 30th October, I bought it at 132. I'm currently at about, no, sorry. Now I've taken a dip.
Yeah, so here you would have exited because again,
sold off.
Yeah.
Now these are only candlesticks, right? Now, if you go through, Ankita, if you go through our old videos, I've given one more trick to Kamal. I've changed my candlesticks. Once I enter the trade, I change it to Renko. Now, do you remember the date that we entered the trade that day? What are the dates we entered?
25th June.
25th June and
25th June of 2020.
Yeah.
Right.
And 1st of October.
Right. So 25th June is what date of 2020? What is the price? Just see the price on the Renko, you know it.
106, right?
Right. So now Renko is giving me a different idea altogether. I was on 25th June, whereas I should have entered in March.
Right.
Now from 25th June, when I entered, yes, let's say I entered over here at 120, right? The Renko gave me green all the way to 145. I would have exited minute I first saw the first red Renko.
Correct.
And again entered when I first saw the first green Renko. Renkos are normally used by us for exiting a trade.
Okay.
And if you look at Renko analysis, you will realize Renko will also give you your support and your resistances.
So with each stock here, the duration of holding
is different.
It will be different. And let's say we keep on talking about long-term investment. पैसा बढ़ाना है तो बहुत देर तक चला उसको. So what is a good time frame for, let's say, you see a new technological company, Apple has invested in a new startup, you have a good, you see a good future for that company. So how long do you suggest on an average कि उसको पकड़ के रखो कि 10 साल रखो, 20 साल रखो या 5 साल में ही उसका performance देख के निकाल दो?
Ankita, since you were trading on Indian markets, let me give you an example of what I did for Indian markets. Like let's take Shopify. Shopify, Kamal and me have had a long discussion on Shopify. Kamal has been entering Shopify on and off. Right? Now, Kamal had entered Shopify. Let Kamal share what he traded at what prices on earlier dates. He was trading at 400. He sold off at about 800, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, around 650.
All right, he sold off at 650. Right? Now, change these to Renko. Now, these are weekly charts. Change these to Renko on daily chart. Kamal, remember what was the month that you were entering in? At what rate you entered?
I think around this time.
The idea was he entered at a particular rate, got out at 600.
Right.
Right. Now, this is amongst the very first few videos which Kamal and me did together. We had an extended session after everybody had departed. And that is when I introduced Renko to him. And then when he saw this, he actually gave himself a small pinch that why did he exit so early?
Right.
Right. So see the Renko
because
chart.
It was going to shoot
he saw
up
small correction, so he exited it out. But Renko did not give him any sell signal till it did not touch, or till it did not touch 1150.
Right. So
if from entry point of 500, or even the first green Renko, lower first green Renko. Yeah, after that, this, yeah. The low is 560.
569, yeah.
Right? In April 2020. From there, if you have entered, you have not had a first red candle, a red Renko, till you reached almost 1175.
Right.
Look at the height, 1178 on 20th of May. So
Correct.
you did not get, once you enter in using your parameters, you always cross-check with Renko to know when you want to exit.
Okay.
You are entering with your parameters.
Mhm.
I am exiting on Renko or I am exiting on my indicators of Williams R and RSI and CCI. Either or two of them.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Now, even here at 1178, when he exits on the next red candle, which is Renko, the low of that is 1054.
54. Yeah.
So when he had entered and at about 450 and exited at 600, he should have actually exited at 1050. So it was a $400 loss he has had per share just because he entered and exited earlier.
No.
And he held on, he would have made $400 more.
Right.
Now, that is the reason why I'm not talking about tenure or the length of the duration. Now, there is another way of thinking of investments. Now, this is when you are identifying your stocks. Assumingly you are a complete novice, how will you start investing in stock markets? The best way to do that is pick up 5 companies of your choice. 5 companies in 5 different sectors whose products you are using, who will be around for the next 75 to 80 years also. Right? So
right.
I won't pick up an oil company definitely because I don't know how much of oil is left in the Mother Earth. So I'll pick up an FMCG company, I'll pick up a bank. A bank will be there for the next 75 years.
Next 30, yeah.
Right? An FMCG company will be around because those are products which are required.
Products, yeah.
Now I would invest into a company or a fixed amount or a fixed number of shares every month the day I get my salary, irrespective of the price.
Okay.
And not look at that investment at all. I do that every month and do that for the first 15, 20 years. Whatever, and make it a dividend paying company so that the dividends which are coming in keep getting added to your kitty, whatever small dividends you will get. So you buy fixed amount of quantity every month on the first day when you get a salary. Right?
Okay.
You keep adding to your portfolio. Keep adding it to keep it for a period of about 15, 20 years.
Okay.
You will be spending only about a few $100 per month or even less than that. But at the end of 20 years, you will realize you have actually built up a wealth for yourself without realizing it. Now, since you are from India, let me tell you, I did this exercise with me. I picked up only 5 shares. I picked up only 5 companies. I'll name the companies for you because you are aware of what the Indian market is. I picked up Larsen and Toubro, which is a engineering company.
Engineering.
I picked up Larsen and Toubro, engineering company. I picked up Hindustan Unilever, HUL, which is a company. I picked up HDFC Bank, which is a banking company.
Right.
I picked up HDFC, which is a housing company, housing loan company.
Right.
That's it. I picked up only not 5, but only 4. I was buying 1 share per script per company on the first of every month, irrespective of the price. So when I was tabulating the record, I would pick up the highest price of the day on the first of the month. I started doing this from 1st January 2000. Did the analysis till May 2019. Yes, till May 2019. Now, initially my investments were approximately about 700 rupees. In May, my investments was approximately about 5,000 or 6,000 rupees.
Okay.
over the period of these 19 years, I had invested about $320,000, 320,000 rupees. That is 3,20,000 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
But my portfolio was worth about 20 lakh rupees. That's about 200,000. 20. How much?
40,000 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, you convert that to your Canadian dollars, which you want at the current rate. But my investment was only about 3 lakh Indian rupees. And my portfolio was worth about 19 lakh rupees. Correct. Or 20 lakh rupees. Not counting the bonuses, because L&T used to give bonuses every second, third year. Not counting dividends, which were coming by all these companies. Not counting the splits, which were happening.
Right.
All that is extra. So if I count all of that, my portfolio would have comfortably been about 40 lakh rupees. Because L&T was very fond of giving bonuses and splits,
mm-hmm.
which it still is. So that is the effect of compounding, and that is the effect of investment. You don't have to trade. You have to only invest for your wealth to be grown.
Right.
If you want to trade, you want to earn 10% margin, 20% profit margin on a regular basis, use indicators to enter a trade, because there your probability of getting to your target is much better. Secondly, always when you enter a trade, leave something for the buyer on the table. Don't try and take 40%, 50% profit margin. If you're happy with 10%, 15% profit margin, take it and leave it for the next trader to come in. It's an ocean out there. You will get a stock practically every week to buy. Right? You get a stock practically every week to buy. So when you keep, so when you're taking your profit margins, you're taking your profits out of the system. That is the profit you're acquiring. You're accruing that profit. As I just mentioned in the previous session, I play on a capital of only about 25,000 Canadian dollars. I have already accrued a profit of about $5,000 plus, which has been taken out of the system. Currently, my portfolio, some stocks are in profit, some stocks are in loss. I am in a portfolio loss of $2,000 just now. But if I remove the 2,000 from my $5,000 profit, I am still in a profit of $3,000.
Yeah.
$3,000 on a portfolio size of only 20,000 investment. Over a period of how long? August, September, October, November, December, Jan. 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
So if I am on a $3,000 profit on an investment for 6 months on a 20,000 product, what is my profit ratio going to be? I'm already 15% profit. I'm taking return of investment of 15% on an annual basis. Keeping in mind my loss, which I've taken of $2,000 currently.
Right.
I'm already on so over a period of 5 to 6 months, I have already accrued profit of 15%. And I have still 6 months more to go. And minute my Barrick, which is the major cause of worry for me, which is $9,000 worth of stock, minute that Barrick gets liquidated into a profit process, I will be into a profit margin of almost about 30-35%. Because that $2,000 loss will also be recovered.
Recovered, yeah.
Right? The $2,000 loss add to that 5,000 makes it 7,000. Another profit of about $1,000 or $500 on Barrick, 7,500. 7,500 on a 25,000 profit or 25,000 capital. And this is primarily and only on an investment basis. I am not trading on Canadian markets. I am just buying and holding it.
Okay.
That is why I always say investment is a better strategy. It is more secured. I don't have to look at my investments every day. Now, I am currently talking to you guys, which is almost about 2 in the night in India. I normally look at my portfolio when I get up in the morning when the markets are closed. And then I instruct my son that you have already kept your orders for buying and selling, which has been executed or not. So I am basically trading for only about 5 minutes a day. I am watching your current markets for only 5 minutes a day. I hope it was helpful on.
It was very helpful, Vivek sir. I mean, yeah, that's the confusion, right? Especially as an immigrant.
No, I
The
understand. As
confusion.
an immigrant, you are working on a very short, tight budgets. You are trying to survive in the first few years. I understand. So that is the reason why, as your major investors keep talking about, you whatever you are earning, you decide how much you want to first spend on your investments.
Right.
After you decide the percentage you want to spend on investment, you remove that from your income. Then you decide how much you require for your sustenance,
Correct.
and then spend your money on your
Once.
enjoyment or
Yeah.
your wants or your luxuries. If you
True
really
that.
want, if you really want wealth to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, we Asians, be it Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, and Nepalis, have a tendency to save. So instead of saving there, you save as an investment.
Yeah.
I will invest so much amount of my earnings every month, or a fixed amount. You need not put all your money in the stock market. You can put it into various
Instruments.
uh,
Yeah.
instruments. I mean, I am one who hates mutual funds or ETFs which you have. I don't invest in mutual funds at all. I have a clear fundamental on that. There are management graduates who require training, who join mutual funds and ETF funds to be trained on your money. If they can be trained on your money, why can't you train yourself on your own money? If you go your investment route, at least you will be responsible for your own actions.
Right.
So that's the best way of learning. And all keep your same stock which you have, which I've just talked of, 3 or 4 stocks which I'm using. Now, how do I select these stocks? These are stocks which are big market caps, big companies, products which are being used by a large majority. They will be there for long duration.
Right.
Because if you're using it, that means they are good quality products.
Yeah.
And which you will expect to grow over a period of time. Now, any country cannot grow without a strong banking structure. So you require banks definitely. You
Yeah.
require infrastructure definitely. So that is the reason why I looked at railways also. CNR is a railway stock. Bank is another stock. So you pick up stocks like this. You pick up an FMCG stock.
Okay.
You pick up Unilevers. You pick up Procter and Gamble if they're traded on your exchange.
Yeah.
I'm sure Unilever will be traded on your in Canada market, and it will be an expensive stock to trade at.
Yeah. But one question on that note that I have is a lot of stocks that that we spoke about, like Unilever, for example, are
Yeah.
quite matured in the market. As in,
Yes.
they're not a budding stock; they have already established themselves. So, is
Yes.
it is it good to focus more on budding stocks, or is it okay to focus on stocks which are already established and are expensive at the same time?
Ankita, it all depends what your intentions are. What is your objective of your this thing? Kamal, can you open up a Unilever for me or a Procter and Gamble? That will be. Look at the chart and you realize that though it is expensive, it is returning back. No, NSE Unilever PLC. At NSE, second stock.
First one?
Second. NSE पे है ना?
This Hindustan.
UL, just UL. This one.
NYSE. This one is on NYSE.
Yeah, sorry.
This one.
So these are all Indian stocks. Forget India. I'm looking at Canadian markets or US market only.
So UL on
try
NYSE.
UL. Yeah, try it. Right? It's a $60 stock. Now you change it to a week chart or a month chart. Take a monthly. You will get it better. A month will give you a range of almost about 0.1 onwards. Now, Ankita, in 0.1, I enter the stock at what rate? You choose a price. $12? $12.
$12, 11.3.
Right? Of $16.
Yeah.
Right? When did $16 come again? In the correction of 0.9. When the markets crashed to almost by about 60-70% globally. Where is it currently? A $12 stock or a $16 stock, where is it currently? 60.
Yeah.
Now, this stock must have given dividends, so much of splits must have happened. God knows what all they must have undergone.
Right.
Even if you see dips, it's gone up. All right, pick up a stock like which is your national bank in Canada?
Let's say
Bank of Nova Scotia, or which one you want to pick up? Royal Bank of Canada?
Royal Bank of Canada.
All right, pick it up 0.1. What is the rate?
22.
23, 22. What is it now?
103.
See, I'm holding it. It must be a dividend paying company.
yes, for around 4.6.
So,
You can take some other bank as
any script you all right. Kamal, you don't choose the script. Ankita, choose the product that you use the most. Any company of your choice.
Dell.
Which one?
Dell.
Dell. Pick up Dell or Bell, whatever. I think she meant Dell.
Dell, yeah, Dell Computers.
Okay, Dell.
Is that
yes, BCE.
All right.
Dell, okay.
All right. Take Dell. It's a recent listing.
2018.
But even 2018, you picked it up at 45, currently running at 72.
72.
73.
About to get double.
So, pick up an older company. Pick up Johnson & Johnson. All right. Pick up Johnson & Johnson. Baby products. NYSE. All right. Monthly chart. Zoom in. Where were you in 0.1? $42. 43. You're 160. Yes. You're 4 times.
Yeah.
4 times in multiples of 4. And it did not touch 42, 43 at all apart from 0.2. Even in the crash, it did not touch 42, 43.
Right.
The only time it touched was in 0.2. In 0.2, it touched at 42, 43.
Right.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be a stock which is unknown. It can be anything that's around you.
When I have talked to you about the Indian stocks that I use, these are market leaders and big large cap stocks. I'm talking about HDFC.
Yeah.
The largest housing finance company in the country.
Right.
I'm looking at HDFC Bank, one of the major banks, private sector banks. I did not look at PSU banks. I looked at private sector banks. I looked at L&T.
Yeah.
The largest conglomerate of engineering company.
Right.
Now, I could look at GE if you want. If you really want to. You look at Tesla also. You look at Tesla. What was a Tesla in 0.1? Now you are looking at 13.
Yeah, it started in 2000. Yeah, it started in 2000.
Fine. So you look at starting in 13, 14. What are the rate?
11,
$11. What is it currently? 800.
800.
So if you could buy Tesla, if you could buy your index and keep index also with you, TSX. You look at TSX, when was TSX started? What is the rate 10 years, 20 years back? All right, 2001, what is the rate? January 2001, keep it January 2001, irrespective, even if it is high. January 2001, all right. What is the rate?
8,500.
High is 9,437. Where are you today? 18,000 or 17,000, almost double.
Yeah.
So even if it dips, if I'm buying it, it is going up. And mind you, indexes are normally managed to always show good money, good profits. The exchanges will always manage an index. That is why you have stocks coming in and going out of the index.
Right.
Right? You can't do that with a stock. You can do that with the index. So indexes are managed. 09 was a major fall. They managed it. So you pick up, for investment, you pick up any stock of your choice. And bigger the better, because they are difficult to fall. I always look at it this way. I pick up a sector. Find the number one player in that and the number two player in that. I pick up the number two player always. Because the number two player will be more aggressive, wanting to expand, wanting to grow. He will be aggressive. So
Right.
Number one, number two player, both can be good. Invest. Anything else?
I think that was very helpful. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, Ankit. Most welcome.
This is Athar. So I just wanted to ask a question on the group.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So my question is on the group, on the GMD group, like there is another person who encourages investing in the options, right?
Yes.
And shows like big numbers and all that. Whereas I see Kamal, he's doing a great job, and you, of course, are great. So I see different approaches. Like, what do you recommend for the new investor, like who has a small account, not like yours and others, like who don't know the trading and have a very small account? What do you recommend? Like, should we get
Athar, I will, as a newcomer, I will say stay away from options completely.
Okay.
As a newcomer, stay away from options completely. I don't think even Kamal is doing options. I am definitely not doing options.
Yeah, even I am not doing options as of
right.
now.
Why am I not doing options on US market? Because I yet don't know the trends, the trades, the techniques they're using over there. I may do options in Indian market, but not in US markets. So as a newcomer, as I was telling Ankita, I would rather be watching you guys learn from these videos of Kamal, learn how these indicators are used, enter selectively on a smaller portfolio. Your portfolio size may not be the size what Kamal is using or what I am using. It could be even $500, even $1,000. That is fine. You are investing in a smaller way. You grow gradually. Look at it this way, Akhtar, that if you are investing, what is the portfolio size just now? If I can ask you, if you can share that.
Yeah, so mine is, it was 5,000, then I lost some money. It's 2,000 now, approx.
Fine, all right. Now, do a basic Excel sheet calculation that you are playing on a $1,000 portfolio. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Every month, you are recovering or you are taking a profit margin of about 10% away from the market and you are adding it to your portfolio. Just 10%.
Yeah.
Which is not very difficult. Which is not very difficult.
Yeah.
Right? So that means you're talking about doing a $1,000 investment and only expecting to earn how much?
10%.
10% is how much? $100.
$100 a month.
With that $100, you keep adding that to your portfolio, keep adding it up. So it becomes 1100. Next month, it will be $11, $110. Keep doing that. Check it out in how much time you recovered what. You must have grown and grown exponentially. That is what we call by exponential growth. You will
compounding.
Linear growth, it will be an exponential growth.
Yeah.
Right? Now, just assume that if you are entering using parameters which we were talking about, now I with my losses, I'm still taking a return of 15%. If you are doing a 10% return, what is the growth you will get? If you're doing a 15% return, you will know how fast you will grow exponentially. There will be trades which will be negative. I'm not saying no, but you got to hold on to them. You really have to
got it.
Right? Like, as I was just saying that since I'm from India, I've done this exercise over a period of 20 years. A $300,000 portfolio became the investment was 300,000. Over a period of 19 years, investment became 200,000.
Almost 2 million.
$2,000. Sorry, $100,000. It became 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
So 300,000 became a 2 million portfolio without me doing any efforts. Now, most of you guys are young guys starting a career now. You can start doing this and planning for your 20 years henceforth.
Okay, perfect. I think great answer. I got the answer.
You don't require to be exceptionally good in trading at all. You just got to be exceptionally good in picking up your stock, which you want to pick it up for long duration.
Reliable companies.
Yeah,
okay, got it.
Or
yeah,
otherwise,
this options actually lure you a lot. Like, you see the profits and all that.
It is the fastest way to also get your money out of your bank.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the fastest. Now, the person who's doing it is Yash Patel. He is an experienced trader who is full-time trading on the machine.
Mm-hmm.
When the markets are open, he's on the machine watching it tick by tick. So he can take his chances. You and I, if we are working, we have a career to look after, will not be able to do that.
Yeah, true. Agreed.
Like Kamal also has a career, has a regular full-time job to which he will give his first priority. He will look at the stock market, which will give him his cheese and his jam during his free time. So he is using it as a added avenue of generation is money, generating amount.
Mm-hmm. Okay, makes sense. Perfect. Thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vivek, sir.
Welcome, Kamal.
The information that you shared through answers of this, I think, is very valuable for all the new members who had not attended our previous sessions. And I would say thank you on behalf of everyone for helping us learn from your experiences. This is really invaluable.
Kamal. Most welcome, everybody. Most welcome.
Yeah, and you also covered about my trading style. Yeah, I don't go to options as of now because I am having a full-time job. My full-time job is my priority, and this is my add-on earnings that I earn through profits in the stocks. The value that we got from Vivek sir today, I think, would be a good thing to ponder upon, and I would encourage all members to try sinking in and have a plan to adopt in your investment strategy that would really generate well in your long term.
Kamal, just 2 minutes more. I just want to make one request. Aditya, Ankita and Athar, if you're hearing me out,
Yes, sir.
Three stocks of yours which
Yes,
you
sir.
want. Identify the 3 stocks, including anybody. Identify your 3 stocks, do a back test. It will take you about 45 minutes upper limit. First of every month, you buy a fixed number of share. Check out the chart. You buy a fixed share on the first of every month at the highest point of rate. Make an Excel table and see what was our investment. So I'm buying the same number of shares irrespective of the price on the first day of the month at the highest rate, right? Make an Excel sheet, check it out and see, had you done this in the past 10 years or in the past 15 years, what is the investment you must have done and what is the value you will generate it today. So your investment over a past 15 years is the money you have pumped in, the value of the portfolio, what has happened, current value, you will get to know. And then that will give you an idea how you should plan your life.
That will only add to my regret that I did not start it earlier.
No, it will not add to your regret. it will add to your resolve that I should start now, irrespective of how much time I've already spent out.
Right.
Ankita, I'm almost 56. If I can think of investments at this age, you guys are all young blood. You have a long life to go ahead of you. So don't take it as a regret, take it as a learning experience. I can start from tomorrow. As it is, Monday is the first day of the month. So you should be getting your salaries. And keep one thing in mind. Whatever day you're buying it on the first day of the month.
Okay.
Or whatever day you decide. If you're getting a salary on the 5th day of the month, you buy it on the 6th day or the 7th day. Irrespective of that date. That will not make much difference. But it will help you to boost your morale and encourage you to start investing.
So one last question for you, sir. I know I'm stretching a bit too much.
No, you are not.
So a lot of people want, to new investors that don't go for stocks immediately. Go for this, go for mutual funds, do SIP, do this, do that. What's your opinion on that?
What I've just explained to you is nothing but an SIP system.
That's true.
You are doing a systematic investment on a monthly basis without the aid of any mutual fund trainee. When you give your money to an ETF or to a mutual fund, there are people who have done their management, who have now entered the market, who have to be trained. So they are learning to trade from your money. Why give them that opportunity?
Right.
You tell me, are you happy with 15% return per year?
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Why not?
Because I know in Canada, you will not be getting more than a few percentage points as interest. I don't know if it's even 2 or 3%. I don't even know.
No, it's 0. It's less than 0%. 0.5.
You're paying the bank to keep your money. So might as well keep the money in the stock which you are using. At least that's going to give you dividends and that's going to grow. The wealth will grow.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're doing it through Wealthsimple, it is going to help you to grow and pick up an asset for you for future.
Right. Thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome, Ankita.
Thank you very much, sir. Kamal and Vivek, sir.
Welcome, Arthur. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vivek, sir.
Sure. Thank you, Kamal.
Yeah, thanks, Kamal, and thank you, Vivek, sir, again for valuable advice. Thank you. And by the way, just to let you know, sir, I followed your advice and I'm in a bit of profit right now.
Lovely.
And as you said, I think what I wanted to do going forward is, at least once I'm confident that I'm able to select the right tickers, post it in the group, because I don't want to post any tickers wherein people go for a loss. So I think in the next few days, I think with the confidence. Sorry, go ahead.
You can always post your thoughts, post your scripts you're looking at. Possibly someone else will tell you whether the script is right or wrong.
No, but the issue is what I've noticed, of course, nothing against anyone. What people do is once we post something, like especially newbies, they start going into directly, which I have done
Yes.
last 8 months. So I don't want to make sure that at least I've done my homework. If something goes wrong, it's not that I did something wrong. It's basically the market which didn't go against, which went against us. That's it.
Which is why if you look at my posting, I would normally give my indicators what has happened. Why have I picked up a share? So that becomes an educator for you also.
True. That makes sense. Yeah.
So my recent posting will be with my Bollinger Band levels, with my Williams and RSI levels.
Got it. Yep, makes sense.
All right.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vivek sir,